Hi, I'm Levita Ewing with the Association of African American Cultural Gardens, and I have the honor of introducing our Sankofa Web Series to you, our audience. Our goal is to educate regarding the African American experience. Through this series, we will be interviewing some of the most interesting, engaging leaders and entrepreneurs in this great city. These change agents will tell us about themselves, what they do, why African American history is important, and what does the African American Cultural Garden mean to them. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and like our Facebook page, the Association of African American Cultural Garden, and go to our website, aAACG.org, for the most updated information regarding events and our Sankofa Education Series. We will be breaking ground for Phase 2 of building the African American Garden early 2022, and it will be a sight to behold. But in the meantime, please enjoy this informative series brought to you by the Association of African American Cultural Gardens. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in. I am your host, Cierra Nelson. You are watching the Association of African American Cultural Gardens Sankofa Education Series. This series is here to highlight the amazing journey of African Americans right here in Cleveland. Now, this series includes religious, political, civic leaders right here in the Cleveland community, and I am so honored today to have Courtney Ottrix. She is the owner of Courtney Covers Cleveland, and if you want to know what's going on in Cleveland, where to go, where to dine, where to have fun, Courtney is the person to connect with. You have to follow her. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. I am honored to be here, and thank you for that awesome bio summary of who I am. That is 100% accurate.
Now, what inspired you? Because every time I'm on your page, you are somewhere new. You support small business owners. You're in the community, trying new coffee shops. Yeah. You're at gyms. And you also have a beautiful series where you have women come together in Cleveland to just focus on elevating themselves and getting together. But what inspired you to start all of this?
Okay, so what inspired me to start this? So this was a passion project. I was always doing this like on my own, finding new date nights for me and my husband, trying to find cool places for my kids to hang out. And honestly, I was tired of young professionals in Cleveland saying that they had to move away to experience life. They were going to Chicago and DC and all of these places. And I was like, guys, the cost of living in Cleveland is so much lower. Go to those places on a weekend and come back and build a home, start a family here. So I was really disappointed that people felt that they had to leave Cleveland. So I was like, if you just explore what's here, you would enjoy Cleveland so much more. So I was doing that all the time, and people started to call me Cleveland Courtney or Courtney Cleveland. And a few people said, hey, you should, streamline this, make this into something, and you should have a blog. And I was like, I guess I could create a blog and put all the information in one place. And that's exactly what I did. I started Courtney Covers Cleveland, and it became a thing. And when I started, I was working full-time as a communications director. Okay. And the opportunity came for me to pursue this full-time, and I did, and it's been absolutely amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how do you balance, because you do a lot. You're a wife, you're a
Yes.
mom, you're always on the scene covering different places in Cleveland. And one thing I noticed about your page is you always talk about balance, and especially for moms as well, as having that balance and focus. How do you do it all? Because you're so transparent with your audience. That's what I like. You're like, hey, you know, moms, we're tired, we're busy, or people, but you always just kind of engage your audience. How do you balance this all?
So I often get asked this question, and I tell people I don't think that there is a true balance, right? I feel like in the morning, I'm a great mom. I get my kids off to school. During the day, I'm a great entrepreneur. I'm focused solely on my business. In the evening, I'm a great wife, and I'm a great mom again. But then in the middle of the night, I might be working again. Like, I think it's picking and choosing when to be great at certain things, because it's almost impossible to me to be great at all things all the time. I think that puts an extra layer of stress on us as women that we don't necessarily need. Like, it's okay. Like, take it step by step, which is why I make those videos like yesterday to say, hey, we are all in this together. We woke up, we tried our best. The kids were still late to school. Someone didn't eat the dinner that we didn't want to make. And we just pressed forward, right? I think that what I love is that I'm sharing my real journey, right? My journey as a wife, as a mom, as a new entrepreneur. And I'm open to sharing what it's like for me, but open to hearing how it's worked and what works for other people in their lives and in their businesses. And it makes Courtney Covers Cleveland more like Courtney Covers It All, because I'm not just covering Cleveland. It's a lot of what I do. It's the passion of how to start it, but I'm also covering being a wife and a mom and exploring Cleveland. So it's so much in one that I'm trying to share, but it works great because my personal life and my business life are both aligned.
Nice.
So, yeah.
So talk about, I'm going to jump to, you have a really nice, and I have to be at the next one. You have a really nice event that you put on for women a couple times a year. And you get such an audience. These women gravitate to you, where you talk about different issues, different things. Can you share a little bit more about your women's night out?
Sure. Okay. So that is one of my signature events. I wanted to create, a lot of times people invite me places, but I wanted to curate spaces where I bring people together, because I'm very passionate about community and bringing people together and making connections. So I started Married Couples in Clee, and then I noticed the wives never wanted to leave. And I was like, okay, we have to continue this conversation. We just can't do it today. So I started Ladies Night, and it was like, okay, we all need a release from something. In every event, the theme changes, the attire changes. But what I found is that no matter what our background, I have doctors, lawyers, nannies, college grads, no matter what our background, there's common ground in just being a woman, whether we're navigating being a new mom or what it's like being a Black woman in the workplace. We have the same issues, and when we come together and talk about them, it's actually a relief of pressure to be like, oh my God, you're going through this too, and how did you figure this out, and what did you do next? So I think that women love that opportunity to know that this space is created for them in Cleveland, for us, by us, women. And yeah, the conversation changes based on the questions that they send in to me to have. And around the theme, because like I said, every event is a different theme, I curate questions for open discussion and for table discussion and for us to have as a group. And it is definitely one of my greatest accomplishments, is being able to do that and sell out so quickly. All of my events sell out so quickly. So it's like, oh, do I expand and get more women to come, or how does this work? What are the next steps? The last one was 300 people. So I'm scared. It's like, oh my God, I cut that off. Like, how does this go? Like, how does it continue to grow? And how do I continue to create this space for women in Cleveland?
Wow. So tell us, what are some of the things, like, I know we're in the wintertime, but as we go into spring, what are some of the things that you have coming up?
So, well, with COVID, it's kind of scary, right? I started a Courtney Covers Cleveland, named after my daughter, Cody Lynn. And it was for parents to find spaces to bring kids. And I really wanted to get that back going, because I find that now that's common, that families and parents are like, well, we're home more and we're looking for ways to engage in the city with our kids. Can you create more spaces like that? Or can you plan more events or share more events around that? So I want to really do that. I'm definitely going to do more ladies' nights and really focus on married couples and bringing that back consistently this year. And then really just explore. Cleveland has tons of new restaurants opening. So it's good for brunch, it's good for date nights, it's good for girls' night. Just really exploring the city and all the changes, the new developments, the new restaurants, the new coffee shops. That's what I hope to do. in there like the next week or so.
That's
Every
really
week.
nice.
Every week I dedicate to going to at least one place new.
I like how you do the coffee shops because everybody loves coffee shops and relaxing. And I like how you said too that Cleveland is a great place because a lot of people think, like you said, you have to move away. And it's like, if you really take time to explore, there's so much here in Cleveland.
And I mean, the east side and west side alone are so different. If you take that 20-minute drive and you go there once a week, you will be going back forever discovering new places. And I think that's the biggest thing is that Clevelanders, and I think it's anywhere, right? Not just Clevelanders, let me be specific, that you get in a routine of going to the same coffee shops or going to the same chain restaurants. And I tell my parents this, my parents love Bonefish. And they go to Bonefish like every Wednesday. And I'm like, dude, there's so many other great local places to support and give back to if you just try new places. So now I give them a list of new restaurants to go around the city and try. And I think a lot of people often come to me like, oh, I'm having a birthday dinner. Where do I have this? I'm having a bridal shower. And it gives me the opportunity to really do what I believe in, which is support local and support local businesses and really send businesses their way. Because when I post, people totally show up and support.
Very nice. Yeah. So I want to talk about all your success. I mean, your business, you've done so many awesome things. So when you sit down and think about who inspires you or who would be your mentor, who do you think of?
Okay, so I think that's twofold, right? So mentor, I think like I have an actual relationship with this person, right? I can call on, they're going to support me and give me great advice. And two people who really come to mind would be Alex Boone and Sheila Wright and Kevin Griffin, all well known in the city, but who do great work, who when I need advice, personally or professional, those are my people that I go to. But then I also think about my friends. I have a great circle around me, and they really push me, not only mentor me, but motivate and inspire me. And I mean, Justin's the new mayor. That's awesome.
Yes.
My friends at Third Space, Evelyn and Mordecai, Danielle Sidnor at the NAACP, or Q and Steph. I think that I'm constantly surrounded by great people doing great work, and that we are all like on this path and journey of following our calling, right? But the good and bad that comes with it and navigating that together as a group. But I think individually, and like having this as a core group, that we inspire and motivate each other.
Awesome.
Yeah. And everyone has different backgrounds. I mean, Alan's a lawyer, Corey works for the Cavs. I think that this generation, like we are each other's inspiration and motivation. Yeah. And I think Ashley, my friend Ashley at Element 13,
Love
is
her.
really,
Love her.
is the one who made me like, you know what, maybe I should try this entrepreneurship life and see what it's like.
That's where I think I first met you, a long time ago, you and Ashley.
Yeah.
And you all were so sweet. I reached out because you were having
Talking Taste.
Talking Taste
We
and
created a
Rumors.
networking
Wow.
event.
And I said, hey, I'd love to come out and cover. And I came, and that's where I met you. Had Maverick Carter. He's on my page, and I met Maverick there. And I was, yes, that's it. Yes.
That is it. So that was important, right? Because I think of us as connectors, and I think that Cleveland is so much more powerful when we collaborate and we work together. And we actually worked together, and we created Talking Taste, and it became one of the best networking events that the city had. And we had great speakers like Maverick Carter. We even have Rich, another person who really inspires me through Clutch and his work. But we brought people here to learn from, right? Yeah. And I think that's the importance of having good mentors in the city is like, how did you get to where you got today? Yeah. Like, what was that journey like? And that was actually awesome. The more we think about it and talk, we're like, we have to bring Talking Taste back. I mean, we're both running thriving businesses, but yeah, it's needed. It's a need in the community when people don't know who to go to for mentorship. It's nice to know that the speakers that we brought in, regardless of their industry, have something to teach. And, you know, people always have something to learn.
Right.
Yeah.
Why do you think that, because being an African-American woman, you're so, there's somebody younger, there's a little girl that's looking at you somewhere in your community saying, wow, she's awesome. She's beautiful. How does she does it all? Why do you think, how do you think African-American history as it relates to young people and their goals, how they should, how important is that?
So I think it's so important, right? It's really the foundation, the basis for how we grow and how we operate. It's like, we've come so far. We don't forget where we come from, but the past teaches us what we can do, what we can't do, and how we grow as people and individually. And for me, I feel like the women that I've watched before me teach me that anything is possible, right? That dream big. And as scary as it is, it's like, no, they've done this. I can do this. Or look what they started. You know what I mean? A journey that we can all get on and push forward and follow our dreams, because anything is possible. In the age of social media, I think it's so important that we watch who's done what right or the wrong way, and how do we learn from it and grow from it. So for me, I think that it's the women before me that allowed me to sit here and talk about my story. It's listening to Alex Boone talk about how she, you know what I mean, was able to be strong, and confident in any room that she walks into. And like, you can do it too, right? And I think, I mean, even if we think about my sorority sister,
which you recently became an AKA. I saw that. I was like, okay.
The Vice President of the United States.
Yes.
Also a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. But like, there's no dream too big, right? And that women like her inspire us and motivate us, even if we don't know them personally, to follow our dreams. Yeah.
I love that. Thank you. And I want to also tap into, before we wrap this up here, anything that you want to tell your audience, any way you want to inspire them, anybody that's watching you, or like, thank you for posting that today about the moms, or thank you, or for being so transparent. Anything you want your audience to know today, and how they can connect with you on your page or your website?
A few things. One, celebrate the small wins. I think I've learned in this short journey, like I have such a long way to go, right? That you have to celebrate the small wins, but you have to create a circle of people who are going to speak into your life, and people that are not always yes men. They're going to tell you, like, actually, you should not do this, or you should reconsider this, or you know, before you go in this room with those people, this is how you prepare. It's the people you have around you make or break what you're building, because if people know you can't build anything alone, right? Self-made people still have the right people around them in some kind of way to give them advice. So I think that's important, creating the right circle. But also creating your own path. Like, find people who inspire you and motivate you, but know that there's only one you. Only you can do what it, and only you know what makes you happy, and what you ultimately want to do, and what impact you want to have on the people around you and your community, and when you're gone 20 years from now. Like, what do you want people to say about you, right? And I think those are the things that I always think about, is that you can do anything you put your mind to. Like, I never thought this was a job. I was only posting on social media and chasing my passion, which was Cleveland. And then it just became a business out of nowhere. And I was like, oh my God, I'm getting paid to do this? I would do this anyway. And it really, you know, people talk about don't chase the money, chase the dream, or chase this. It all comes full circle when you're doing something that you love and enjoy. And I think that that's what people should always go after.
Perfect. I love that you said that. I've always heard that, even from Oprah as well. They say always chase your passion, because the money will follow. The money will follow. So
and it's hard to believe that, right? I never thought that. I was like, yeah, how is money gonna follow this? Like, I'm going around the city eating and drinking and going to restaurants, you know what I mean? Like, going to concerts, and I'm having a good time, and I'm able to involve my family in that because it's part of my job. But it's like my job. It's like my full-time job now. Like, every day I get to live and be Courtney Covers Cleveland and provide for my family, and I never saw it possible. But here it is. So I hope that inspires somebody else to be like, I don't know what it's going to look like, but I'm just going to pursue it and see what's the worst that can happen.
Right, that's true. I love that. Well, I wanted to, very last but not least, just mention again, places they can find you on Instagram, like Courtney Covers Cleveland, your website.
Yeah. So everything is Courtney Covers Cleveland, CourtneyCoversCleveland.com. Courtney Covers Cle on Instagram, Facebook, everything you can find me is Courtney Covers Cleveland. Can I add one thing? I do want to add, I love the cultural gardens, right? And me and Steph Loss, DJ Steph Loss, do an annual event there, our Runeteenth on Juneteenth, and it's become such a huge success. But we do ask all of our guests to make a donation to the cultural gardens. And I just love it, because I love the theme of looking back, living in the present, but thinking about the future, because I think that's how we should all operate daily. But I also love that it gives us our own place within the cultural gardens to celebrate our accomplishments, and meeting places for us to just go, and a place for us to take care of. I see the pride in all the other gardens, and I'm excited for us to have the same thing. And I hope people make donations and give it back, and make sure that this is something that we collectively take, you know, root and pride in.
Absolutely. So we have to definitely do that and support our gardens. This is so beautiful. And,
you
know, we worked hard to get that here.
Yeah.
This was a long time coming to get that. So
Yeah.
But thank you so much
you
for
for
coming
having
on.
me.
Thank you. Congratulations on everything. And I want to thank you so much for watching the Association of the African American Cultural Gardens Sankofa Education Series. Please tune in. Always check it out. We have great guests, great information. You don't want to miss it. You can definitely check it out. Thank you so much again. Thanks for watching, and make sure you check us out weekly.
The Association of African American Cultural Gardens welcomes you to our segment, Do You Know?, where we highlight individuals, past and present, that have made tremendous accomplishments in our community. Let's see if you do know. Do you know there's a key person, a key institution, and a key president, all that led to the establishment of Black History Month? Now, the key person is a scholar that established Black History Month in 1926 and who was also the founder of the Association of Negro Life. That key person founded Black History Week. And he founded Black History Week based on the second week in February, inspired by the birthdays of Frederick Douglass and Abraham Lincoln. Now, there was a key institution where students got together as a Black United Students group and decided they wanted it to be a month instead of a week. Do you know that institution? Because of those students at that institution, there was a certain president that made Black History Month a national holiday in 1976. Those key students actually started the first Black History Month in 1970. If you guess, Carter G. Woodson founded Black History Month in 1926. His work inspired students at Kent State University in 1970 to establish the first Black History Month. And President Gerald Ford proclaimed Black History Month as a national holiday in 1976. If you guessed any of those persons or institutions, then you do know.
I am Rhonda Crowder, member of the Association of African American Cultural Gardens, and I am asking you to join the movement to complete the African American Garden. We are breaking ground for phase 2 this March, but we need your help to complete the final phase. Go to aacg.org or mail your check to P.O. Box 20237, Cleveland, Ohio 44120 to make your tax-deductible gift. We appreciate your support and ask you to go to aacg.org to learn more about our organization and upcoming events. Thank you for joining our Sankofa Education Series, where we showcase the extraordinary accomplishments of African Americans in this great city. Thank you.